We did it this time! Welcome to Redacted Tonight, the comedy show where Americans in America covering American news are called foreign agents. In the past, thank you, we've worked hard for that designation. The country our military intelligence community has begun infiltrating is a small nation south of Canada and north of Mexico. It goes by the name America, I think, if I'm pronouncing that right, or America or something. Its national pastime is a triple bypass surgery, and its national bird is this one. And you'll be happy to hear, though, while many birds are going extinct, this one flourishing. In the case of America, the CIA and military are infiltrating the media and the political system for this upcoming midterm election. As journalist Patrick Martin noted in his investigation, an extraordinary number of former intelligence and military operatives from the CIA, Pentagon, National Security Council, and State Department are seeking nomination as Democratic candidates for Congress in the midterm elections. The potential influx of military intelligence personnel into the legislature has no precedent in U.S. political history. They're infiltrating our government, and they're not even doing it quietly. They're not even like tiptoeing around. They're just running for office. This is like, if you go to these politicians' bios on their website, it just says, like, hi, I'm Danny, your neighborhood CIA agent, and I now want to represent you in Congress. My likes include skateboarding, snowboarding, and waterboarding, and CIA black sites in Thailand. You can't trust me around your kids, but vote for me. I'm just saying, manipulating our government used to be clandestine. But hold on, the investigation that I was just reading from there said an extraordinary number are running. What does that really mean? You know, 10 jarheads are running for office? What a big deal. Actually, there are 57 candidates for the Democratic nomination in 44 congressional districts who boast as their major credential their years of service in intelligence in the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, at the State Department, or some combination of all three. That's right, 57 candidates, which is far more than the Republican side, because as we all know, Democrats are not anti-war anymore. That ship has sailed. This situation is so bad that in some cases, a CIA agent is running against like a former Marine in the Democratic primary. Do you want to vote for flesh-eating bacteria or a flesh-eating piranha? Tough call, I don't know. And then whichever one wins, you get to choose between them and a pile of dog shit on the Republican side. That's the great thing about America. We have lots of choices. If the Democrats capture a majority in the House of Representatives, candidates drawn from the military intelligence apparatus will comprise as many as half of the new Democratic members. They will hold the balance of power in the lower chamber. Despite the fact the military intelligence apparatus has largely run our country for a long time now, having them actually serving as members of Congress is not the norm. In fact, in this year's Congress, there are only 10 current members of the military reserves and 6 current members of the National Guard. That's nothing compared to the military intelligence coup d'etat in this year's midterm. Look, don't be an idiot about it. This isn't rocket science, all right? With the Citizens United decision removing the last remaining money restrictions, the U.S. ruling elite are funding the candidates that will protect them and U.S. imperialism. The Bernie Sanders movement scared them poopless, all right? It did. While the oligarchs know the Republican side, that's on lockdown, right? That's on lockdown for corporatism. They weren't so sure about the Democratic side. What to do? Fund military-industrial complex candidates who are already brainwashed and down with the corporate imperialism over all else business model. Many of them brag about their work in the invasion of Iraq, widely regarded as one of the largest war crimes of our generation. And the study points out there is no comparable mass of true progressives or so-called Bernie-crats with this much money and support. Only 5 of the 221 candidates reviewed in the study had links to Sanders or billed themselves as progressive. A lot of this comes down to the DCCC, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. They raise funds and organize campaigns for the House of Representatives elections, and they, the ones they believe will be close. And they work for the establishment. They don't throw their weight, their fundraising, their data behind non-corporate candidates. In fact, it's so bad that Justice Democrats, Our Revolution, and other grassroots groups petitioned the DCCC this month to stop attacking progressives. But, as the mainstream media will tell you, don't worry. There is a blue tide, including the special election this week in Pennsylvania, in which Democrat Connor Lamb has presumably beat Republican Rick Saccone. This is huge news for progressives and anti-war voices. Here's what was said on CNN this past weekend.
This is not a race of contrast, which is typically what a race is, right? You have a candidate on one side who believes one ideals and one on the other side. These two gentlemen, the Democrat and the Republican, are on the same page on almost everything, including the tariffs and including the on gun control.
Okay, then. So they're exactly the same. Great. This is fucking horrifying. Wonderful. Tell us, CNN, tell us how this is horrifying.
The biggest lesson in this race is that Democrats need to pick individually candidates that suit the district. And that's why this is a race. If he was progressive, Rick Saccone would be miles ahead of him.
The lesson that was learned is if you run a Republican as if he's a Democrat, then you win. What do you win? You win a Congress filled with Republicans and Republicans pretending to be Democrats. Do you see what's going on here? We are being gamed. Most of the time, the two-party system is one party. It's a shit show owned by the wealthy to make you think you're creating change. They are one and the same. These are not two separate parties. This is one party of the corporate imperialist state, and they're involved right now in a soft coup. They're basically just having a runoff for which one of their members gets to give the press conferences and sexually harass the Senate interns, both male and female, all right? We have to wake up, or that's what we'll consider progress from now on. Both male and female interns getting their ass patted when they're at the copy machine. You want to know how bad this is? Donna Brazile is friends with Karl Rove, one of the architects of the Iraq War that killed 1 million human beings. Here's our very own John F. O'Donnell catching them in a warm embrace at the Democratic debate last year.
Cool. Hey, Carl, I'm sorry to bother. We have pleasure and an honor to ask you a question. How are you? How are you? You as well.
I'm Mr. World Publicist.
Oh.
You need to talk to her first.
I don't think he should be answering any questions that might in any way impede our election.
So the head of the DNC is also Karl Rove's publicist?
Oh, just for the day, just for the hour. He paid me a lot of money.
I guess the
And Joe Trippi did as well. I'm his publicist as well.
Well, I guess the two-party system really is like two sides of two heads of one beast.
It's my brother. Hello, my brother.
You can insult this show all you want, all right? You can say that my blazers are stupid and I should shave my beard and bathe more regularly. But name another fucking national TV show that told the chairperson of the DNC to her face that the two-party system is two heads of the same beast. Go ahead.